Welcome back, tech friends. My name's Gareth. This is Tech Check. Today we're going to be looking at this new case from Geometric Future. It's the Model 8, but it's called the M8 Cowboy. Might be a little bit used to it from a couple of years ago when it hit the actual shops by storm, because it doesn't actually opt for the traditional layouts that most manufacturers go for. So we're going to unbox it. We're going to actually give you an overview of the case itself, and then we're going to do a build in it to see, is it actually worth it, and should you actually spend your hard-earned cash? Let's do it. So you might be asking, what's so impressive about this particular case? And that's what we're going to find out now. I really liked the other one when it came out 2 years ago, and I just wanted to take a closer look, give you guys a closer look at this case as well, because case manufacturing has definitely changed. Integration of wood and metal from Fractal, the likes of Leon Lee going with the full fish tank look, and you've now got, obviously, case manufacturers looking to innovate and be a little different. And that's where this case comes into its own. Not only does it opt a different style from the traditional layouts inside, which we'll go on in a minute, but from an aesthetics point of view, it's really, really nice. So on the side, we've got this 4mm tinted glass full side panel. You can see we've got this strip of premium leather up the top and our Geometric Future up there as well. Now you might be thinking, this case is definitely not going to be good from an airflow perspective. There's no room for any fans. And you're absolutely right. At the front of this case, we have got a brushed aluminium solid panel. Now it can be removed. All you've got to do is pull it off. And as you can see at the front, we've got these little pins that hold it in place. But behind the front panel, it's still a solid panel. So there's no way that you're going to get intakes from the front of this case. And that's where it differs again in terms of its layout. Imagine a standard ATX case, rotate it 90 degrees, and that's what Geometric Future with their Model 8 has actually gone for. So in terms of the actual layout itself, and we'll take the side panels off and have a closer look, we're going to have, or what you should be doing is you should be having intake at the bottom, and then you can have exhaust or intake at the side, and then you've got exhaust at the top. There's no actual intake at the front of the case. That being said, let's have a look. Take the side panel off. Let's have a look inside. To take off the side panel, you've got these lovely crafted square screws, easy to undo. Push it forward, and then our heavy glass panel can lift off. At the rear of the case, and I will say, guys, this is again not something that I'm a big fan of. I don't believe there's any reason to have a rear panel that's made of glass unless you're going OTT and you are OCD with cable management. All your cables are going to be shoved in here. It's not going to be the most aesthetical thing to look at. And not only that, from a costing perspective, I just think that having a piece of leather up here could be integrated with a solid back panel. I don't think that we need to have an additional second glass panel which is on the back. A, it would reduce the cost, and B, also reduce the weight as well. So in terms of shipping costs, and not only that, you've got twice as much chance of actually breaking it when you're actually taking it off or putting it back together as well. To remove this one, again, just 2 thumb screws. And just so you're aware, the back panels do have these steel reinforcements down either side, and that glass is very, very thick, 4mm, tempered glass, but darkened as well. The case caters for ITX, Mini ITX, M-ATX, ATX, and E-ATX. So I wouldn't fancy putting a Mini ITX board in here, but you could do it if you wish to do so. We've got this huge cutout at the back, so you've got plenty and ample room for any CPU mounting brackets or anything like that. We've got our 9 standoffs pre-included, and there is additional ones if you've got E-ATX motherboards to go in. As you can see up top, we have got room for a 120mm fan up here, and I'll take this panel off in a second because this just slides back and lifts up. So that's effectively our top panel. So you can see our 120mm housing up here. We have also got 7 PCIe expansion slots down the back here, and this is where our graphics card goes. So effectively our motherboard is going across here, down here like this. Our graphics card is going to be mounted vertically, slightly different orientation to what we're all used to, and I'm intrigued to find out what it's going to look like. Now, one thing I've noticed straight off the bat with this premium case is the fact that we've got a shed ton of actual cutouts, which is absolutely fantastic. What I can't see is one grommet anywhere. While it's beautifully manufactured and there's no sharp edges, no rough edges or anything like that, which is brilliant. One thing that I hate is seeing cables coming through these particular openings and not being able to hide them. So I think that from my perspective, especially with a premium case with premium features at a premium price, I would expect to see some sort of ability to be able to hide those cables. So as you can see down here, our power supply goes in here, and then we've got all of our front I/O. The great thing about this particular case is you have got at least 2.5 inches worth of actual depth between the top panel and obviously your PCIe expansion slots, which are here, which is absolutely fantastic, because you might be thinking, where the hell do I plug in my DisplayPort or my HDMI or everything else in terms of back I/O? You've got plenty of room down here. And then at the bottom, you can actually route all your cables for a very clean aesthetic. Talking about front I/O, again, this beautifully crafted front panel here. We've got a power button, which is delightfully coated in this premium leather. We've got 2 USB 2 ports. We've got 2 USB 3 ports. And we've got our Type-C port there. We've also got a couple of microphone jacks as well, which is absolutely bang on. At the bottom of the case, we're greeted with a full magnetic filter, which can be easily removed. We've also got these, I would say 2/3, around about 20mm high feet that go all the way around the case. We've only got this third in the middle that's not obstructed. So it'd be interesting to see if that actually stops any intake or not. And then finally we're greeted with the rear of the actual case, and this is uninterrupted. It's beautifully CNC'd with this nice little mesh pattern here. Now at the back here, we also have the ability to remove this particular bracket, which allows us at the minute to actually mount 120mm fans. But if we were to actually remove that with these 3 particular screws, which are on the side, we could actually mount 140mm fans up here as well. So one good thing about this particular case, at the top we can have a 120mm as an exhaust. We could have a 420mm radiator as an intake or an exhaust at the actual back. You can put 3 140mm fans or 3 120mm fans as an intake at the bottom as well. So the way that I would plan it is 3 120mm fans at the bottom as an intake. We'd have our 360mm radiator set as an exhaust, and then we'd also have a 120mm fan at the top up here, just getting rid of any of that unwanted heat as well. One thing I'm quite excited about with mounting this all-in-one at the back, you could actually run your tubes round the top and then through here, or you could mount it at the bottom and run your tubes around your graphics card, dependent on the size of your actual graphics card, that is. But yeah, I think overall, really, really nice. Am I impressed? Yes. I'll go into the cost right at the end, guys, because I think I'll keep you hanging on till the end. Enough being said, let's actually do a build in this particular case, and then we'll see if I like it just as much as I do now. Let's do it. What should we actually put in this? What should we put in it? What is worthy of this particular case? Right, I've got it. I've got it. Let's just go and pick some parts. Right, we'll go Ryzen 5 7600. We'll have 32 gigs worth of DDR5. This is 6,000 megahertz and it is 2 sticks of 16 gigs each from Corsair. We've not used that before. We'll have these. I'm hoping this will be big enough. It should be. If not, we'll change the actual the actual graphics card. We've got this Gigabyte 750 watt UD Gold from Gigabyte, and then we have this Fangzhang S880 PCIe Gen 4 NVMe, and this is a 1 terabyte drive as well. That's going to be in keeping. We've got a bit of RGB, and it's black, and it's 360 mils. So we'll go with the Sigmatech Frozer 2360. Video coming next week, I think, or it might be the week before this one. So watch the next couple of videos, because this cooler, guys, I did a test between my H150 LCD from Corsair, which is the new IQ Link one. I did one between this and then the Arctic Freezer 3 as well. So one at around 90, one at about 150, and then one at around 300, just to see how they'd actually do. This one did really well, so not too bad at all. Let's chuck that in. Let's go with this one. So guys, I think this one is the best budget B650 motherboard. It's around 130 quid here in the UK. Absolute bargain. Used it a number of times, no problems whatsoever. Had a 7950X3D here, no problems at all. So comes with Wi-Fi. It doesn't have PCIe Gen 5, but then again, who's actually gonna need that? Gen 4 at 7300 megabits a second or megabytes a second is absolutely lightning anyway. It's got two M.2s, like I said, Wi-Fi 6. Should be absolutely perfect for what we need. And last of all, guys, let's not just crown it with this Zotac Trinity Black 4070 Ti. Fantastic card, guys. 1440p, workhorse, powerhouse at 1080p as well. No issues, no problems. Just hoping 750 watts, we should be absolutely fine. So let's get it all together. Let's see if it's actually just as easy to build in this case as it is a traditional one. And I'll share you my thoughts after we're done. Let's go. One issue that we might foresee here is the access to our EPS power cables, because behind this heat shield there is a cutout, but we might struggle to get those in. I might go ahead and put the actual power supply in now before we start filling the case with additional cables and then struggle even more. If you do struggle to get that in, what I would advise is put the EPS power cables in before you install your motherboard, then you should have less issues. Put that through there, and then you can line up your PSU and screw it in with the fan facing outwards down here, so we're not starving it. Last but not least, Zotac Trinity Black Edition 4070 Ti Super. It'll look immense with an E80X motherboard in there. Perhaps some custom cables as well, but guys, not everyone's got thousands of pounds, so let's have a look what it looks like. Let's turn it on. Right, everything's turned on. Power switch on the power supply is turned on. Let's press the power button for the first time. Seems well. We've got the bottom 3 fans and our top fan. Our all-in-one graphics card, RAM, everything is tippity top. So let's just see if we hit the splash screen. Everything's brand new in here. So there we go. FTPM might go through to BIOS, which is good. So let's just give that a second. Let's see. It'll just be doing some memory timings, and there we go. So F2, load default values straight through to BIOS. So as expected, woohoo! Let's talk good first. So things that I really like about the case are just the ability to look different. I love the aesthetics of it. The build quality is second to none. Absolutely fantastic. I really love the fact that you can put a 420mm radiator up here, or a 360, or any other combination. You can put 140 fans up here, you can put 140 fans down here. I think you've got loads of room for scope in this particular case. In terms of the motherboard, as we said, it can do an ITX, it can do MITX, it can do M80X, it can do E80X, it can do ATX, it can do everything basically. But I would highly suggest that you connect or push through your EPS power connectors before installing your motherboard. And I'm very highly surprised that this particular manufacturer has looked over the fact that it's a big problem. And guys, trust me, it was a bloody nightmare. So please save yourself some sanity, do that. I love the aesthetics. I love the fact that they've not just gone with the normal traditional layout. I think that's really good. And as I'll keep repeating, the build quality is second to none. I absolutely love it. And I think the combinations that you could go with in this particular case is absolutely fantastic as well. Something different with regards to having the PSU at the front, loads of room in there. Again, I'll make sure all the clearances are on screen, guys, for the PSU, the CPU, the GPUs and all that good stuff. I'll put them on the screen for you. Overall, I think it's a very nice looking case. Now that I've had a chance to build in it, what do I think? Is it any harder than building in a normal case? No, it's not. Will it take a little bit more thought to make sure that everything happens how you think it will happen or how it should happen? Yes. As you can see with the all-in-one, I like that. I think it's a fantastic touch, being able to route the actual tubes through there. And they've put a little cutout where this fan is, absolutely bang on. PSU at the front, they've put a little hole in the case so you can put the screwdriver through, absolutely bang on. The feet on the bottom, I thought that they would obstruct airflow coming through the particular case, but they don't at all. Airflow's absolutely fine. Whilst I haven't done any temperature tests on this particular setup here, I have seen a lot of reviews on this case, guys, and ultimately you can change these fans as exhaust to intake. That will help the CPU temps. It won't really help the GPU. You're looking at somewhere around 70 degrees max full load for the actual GPU, and around about 56 to 60 degrees on the CPU if you've got a 360 cooler. So temp's good, aesthetics fantastic, build quality amazing. Price £160 for something different, premium products. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad at all. Did I like building in it? Absolutely, yes, because I like something different, and doing something other than the norm all the time is absolutely fantastic. And I think this will be up some people's street, but not necessarily everybody's. So let me know what you guys think. Would you consider this particular case for your next build, and what parts would you use in it? Let me know down in the description. If you're interested in this build, I'll leave a full link down below as well for all the parts. I hope that you've enjoyed the video, guys. Go and show some love over to these, because fantastic for sending them me out for a small YouTuber like myself. So appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. All the very best.